The original ending to Jeepers Creepers was changed because they were running out of money. But there was another more personal reason why they changed the ending. And by the way, they would have survived. We know the Creeper and his truck were going to be slaughtered by a fast-moving train at the end of Jeepers Creepers. But now, almost 23 years later, we know it's almost certain they would have survived. Once production started on Jeepers Creepers, there was always going to be a Jeepers Creepers 2. So let's go over some little-known facts and show you what would have happened. Originally, Jeepers Creepers was written by Victor Salva, and his intentions were to let the story stand alone without any possibility of a sequel. Now, he never thought it would be such a huge success. But even if it was successful, he was adamant against making another Halloween, Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street, where the story could get drug on forever, leading to unhappy fans. So Victor's vision for the first movie was to have the Creeper, his truck, and Darry all get destroyed at the end as they found their way into the path of a fast-moving train. But as production progressed, it became painfully evident that they were going to run out of money before they were able to finish filming. So he quickly rewrote the ending in Florida in the middle of production. Everyone was blown away at how fast he rewrote the ending and made it work. But once production started, Victor may have rewritten the ending anyway, even if the budget wasn't an issue. Now let's take a look at the original ending and these original storyboard images of the first unedited script. If you've seen the storyboard images before and you don't need to see them again, just jump forward to here. In the original ending of Jeepers Creepers 3, Trish and Darry escape from the Creeper and run out of the police station. They see the Creeper's truck sitting in the parking lot where he left it when he went into the police station. As they're running out, they hear glass breaking from above, and they glance up to see a police officer being thrown out of an upper window. He flies down and lands on a police cruiser that lies below. This terrifies Trish and Darry, and they make their way to the easiest vehicle to get to, which is the Creeper's truck. It's still running where the Creeper left it. Darry makes his way to the driver's door, and he pops it open. When he does, he is overtaken by the smell coming from inside the truck. On the other side, Trish has the same experience as she opens the passenger door. It stinks. They jump in, and after some struggle, they get the vehicle to move. As they're driving away, they see the Creeper's coat flying down right in front of their windshield. He was just wearing this coat, so they know that he's following them. They get out of there in a hurry, driving over the Creeper's coat, and just then they hear the Creeper land on top of his truck. He begins to make a hole in the top of his truck and reach down to grab Darry. The truck swerves, and this causes Trish to fall over in the back. The Creeper continues to reach down and grab at Darry, and as he does so, Trish finds a spear in the back of the truck and begins to poke upward at the Creeper. They're speeding down the road now, and Trish continues to thrust upward in an attempt to hit the Creeper, and she does. She hits him right in the forehead, which causes him to fall off of the truck. But he quickly returns and peeks through the hole that Trish had made with the spear. As he looks in, the first thing he sees is Trish below, still shocked that the spear disappeared. He reaches down and grabs onto her head and begins to pull her out of the truck. As he does this, Darry leaves the driver's seat with the truck moving and goes to try to rescue his sister. But it is no use. The Creeper is too strong, and he yanks Trish out of the truck, up onto the roof, and throws her out. Since he wasn't able to help his sister, he returns to the driver's seat and puts the pedal to the metal. But this is no use, as the Creeper is too strong, and he stays in pursuit. The Creeper returns to his original position and again begins to yank Darry out of the roof of his truck. He grabs onto Darry and begins to violently pull him away from the driver's seat and towards the opening in the roof. As we pan back to see the Creeper pull, Darry glances upward and he can see a reflection of the train crossing sign in the windshield. He looks over and he can hear the sound of a train coming. Meanwhile, the Creeper is still pulling and Darry is doing everything he can to hold on to the steering wheel. The camera pans over to see the train rushing toward the train crossing in the road. As the vehicles race toward their union, Darry's last-ditch effort is to hang on to the steering wheel with his feet. Ultimately, the creeper is too strong, and Darry's feet slip from the steering wheel. Just as this happens, the two vehicles meet, and there is a giant explosion of glass and metal. Would the creeper and his truck have survived the original ending? The answer is yes. Both endings would have produced the same result. Darry would have died. The creeper and his truck would have returned for a sequel. This is 100% what would have happened, no question. Here's why and how. First, let's talk about the fictional reason why the creeper and his truck would survive. In Jeepers Creepers 2, we find out that the creeper can move things using telekinesis, using his mind. We clearly see the bone dagger fly out of Jack's hand. I believe the creeper was trying to retrieve it, so there wouldn't be evidence of his existence out there. In Jeepers Creepers 3, we receive even more evidence that the creeper has certain powers. He can move his axe and his spear using only his mind, and he moves his truck while he's standing on top of it. Did the creeper have this power to control his environment in Jeepers Creepers 1? Yes, he definitely did. It would be impossible for a 200 or more pound creature to crawl on the side of a wall unless he was able to manipulate gravity. We are also exposed to the creeper's ability to resist bullets at the police station. And we see a glimpse of him defying gravity again as he leaps over Trish and Darry in their car. By the way, this ability to control gravity is what allows a large human-sized heavy object to fly. Wings become a system of navigation rather than a means of lift. Now, it goes without saying that the creeper had these powers in Jeepers Creepers 1 because for him it's the same time period. So if he has these powers, certainly he could use them to keep from being destroyed by a train, or at least from being seriously damaged if he was hit. As a matter of fact, we see the creeper get hit by Trish and Darry's car. It debilitates him for a short time, but he recovers, even after being run over multiple times. And in Jeepers Creepers 3, he is hit by a big rig, yet he's still up and hunting in a matter of seconds. The creeper would survive being hit by a train. So what about the truck? In Jeepers Creepers 3, we see the creeper's ability and desire to protect his truck. First, we see him go to the effort of reclaiming his truck from the police. Then he protects it from high-caliber bullets. We also see him navigate his truck without being behind the wheel. So it only stands to reason that the creeper would protect his truck from being hit by a train also. So in the folklore of Jeepers Creepers, both the creeper and his truck would have survived. If we would have watched the original ending to Jeepers Creepers, we would have watched the creeper and his truck get destroyed at the end of the movie, and then they would have returned in a sequel. Now, a side note, I want to know what's going on right here. How can the creeper protect his truck from bullets, but he can't protect himself from bullets? Victor. So fictionally, given the powers that he has, it's pretty clear that the creeper could have found a way to protect himself and his truck from the original ending of Jeepers Creepers. But what are the factual reasons that they would have survived? Popularity. Now, when Victor wrote Jeepers Creepers, it was intended to be a low-budget, one-off movie, but it ended up breaking box office records on Labor Day weekend and even survived a slowing of the entertainment industry because of the attack on 9/11. Now, people loved the movie, and they would surely want more. There was no way Jeepers Creepers was going to end up without a sequel, especially after the overnight success. The franchise now had a money-printing machine, and there would surely be multiple sequels. So both endings to Jeepers Creepers would produce the same result. Darry would be dead, and the creeper and his truck would return for a sequel. Jeepers Creepers ended up being far too important and popular to multiple generations of fans to just let it fade into the annals of movie history without a sequel. But that isn't why Victor rewrote the ending, and it's not because of money either. Well, not entirely. So why did Victor feel so compelled to rewrite the original ending? Popularity. I've already used that word. Do you guys see a trend forming here? So the reason why the villains would have survived is fan popularity, but the reason why Victor rewrote the ending to the story is internal popularity. Wait, what? Now we get to see just a little glimpse of the answer we're looking for in the bonus disc for Jeepers Creepers 1, the making of the movie. In an interview, Victor talks about how much he enjoyed the process of watching the creeper come to life, all made possible by his talented crew. You have to remember that when Victor wrote Jeepers Creepers, he didn't know what the creeper would look like. It was only defined by words and didn't yet have an identity or character. Brad Parker is credited with the initial idea of what the creeper would look like. He took Victor's description and then he turned it into something much more horrifying than Victor could have possibly imagined. And this developing character was taken even further by Brian Pinnacus, who took Brad's drawings and turned them into a 3D reality. When Victor saw the progress and he got to see his creature coming to life, he was elated. As a group, they had created a successful, iconic monster. Victor no longer wanted to keep the creature hidden like the script called for, but he wanted to put it on display. So they made the decision to show much more of the creeper physically in the second half of Jeepers Creepers. Now, we believe this was a huge mistake, as the monster would have been much more scary if it had been surrounded by mystery and intrigue like it was for the first half of the movie. But it was this excitement that we believe made it so easy for Victor to change the ending of his movie. Now, budget may have dictated a change, but it was very liberating to follow the budget, and it's quite likely that the ending of the movie may have been changed even if money wasn't an issue. As it is, we're very grateful that the ending of Jeepers Creepers was rewritten, as it's likely Truck 1, the truck that we own, would have been used for the train scene. We're also pleased that this franchise lives on. Despite one disgusting submission, we feel confident that the franchise will continue to live in the world of cult classics, and that it will gain popularity over time. The idea, the creeper, and his truck are just too good to be forgotten. So what do you think about the original ending and the likelihood that the creeper and his truck would survive? Thanks for hanging out with us today. You're always welcome to pull up a screen, and until next time, we'll see you.